Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel that is Sahitya Abhyasa Academy. I am Anjum. Today we are going to study a Plato's Republic. Yes, we had class on the life biography of Plato. No, and also we had class on his important works. Among them, Plato's The Republic stays, very prominent one. Let's begin the Republic, the background and the structure of this text, this work, written by Plato, definitely around 355 7. What it is from, on which basis it explains the things, that is philosophical dialogues. What is philosophical dialogue? Here we can see a group of people or a philosophers. They have the communication with each other about philosophical dialogues, means about talking about the philosophical ideas like what is life. I should write neatly. I should make it improve my this hobby also. Simply I should not write like that. Okay, fine. What is life? What is beauty? What is truth? Yes, what is justice? Such kind of a philosophical ideas they are going to give their discussion on these are the topics. That is what called philosophical dialogue, and mainly featuring Socrates as the speaker. So here we can see the Socrates become as a speaker in that dialogue, divided into 10 books. What is that? The Republic. This book is contains 10 books. Each book tells a kind of a new concept, a kind of a gives the new ideas to the literary world. Setting Socrates' conversation in Athens. Yes, basically we have seen that the conversation has been taken in the place setting, that is Athens. Between who are they? Who are the people participated in that group? The first one is Socrates himself, and the next thinkers like Glaucon, Adeimantus, Thrasymachus, Polemarchus, and Sepulchus. See the spellings, the way have to pronounce their names, quite difficult for us, but for me it's difficult. Okay, it's okay. Then what is the central topic of their discussion? The first thing is that what is justice? Let me know in the comment box according to what is justice. Yes. So here we can see the dialogue begins with the philosophical inquiry. Yes. Tell me, each of you give your own definition about justice. So here a kind of a philosophical idea arise between them. So each person, each philosopher, each thinker is going to give their own opinion, their own views, their own ideas on that particular word called justice. So what is justice and why should we be just? Yes, why we should show our part of to be in that part of, means why should we be just why we should lead our life truth or a just. Before that, what is justice? This is what the question arise in that group. Okay, so different as answers are tested, means coming. The first one, Cipollus says that justice is nothing but it is honesty and paying debts. Yes, paying debts. Yes, it is honest where we need to pay some debts. If we take amounts from someone, we should repay, we should return that amount to back. This is what called honesty, and this is what called justice according to C plus. What about Polemarchus? Justice is helping friends and harming enemies. Is it a right way? Harming enemies? One side, Bacon's essay says of revenge, that in that revenge we should not keep a revenge on the hurters. The person who hurt us, we should not take revenge from them. If we do so, our soul will be spoiled. You know, if something is happen in our hand which turn into wound, if we let it that wound for the dry, it will dry and it will vanish from our skin. If we oftenly scratching that wound means what it happens, it turns to into red, and day by day it hurts to our body. So this is how forgetting a thing is just like a forgetting the people, forgiving the people. If you oftenly recall those are the things which hurt to you means that is nothing but leads to you to take that revenge. It is not a good. But according to Polemarchus, what he says, justice is nothing but helping to the good friends, helping to the friends. Yes, that is good. But also he further says that it is nothing but harming and also harm to the enemies. This is what justice. Hadala ತಪ್ಪು ಯಾರು ಮಾಡಿದ ಶಿಕ್ಷೆ ಆಗಲೇಬೇಕು ಅಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಟು Polemarchus says. Sorry, Thrasymachus, justice is the interest of the stronger. A cynical political view. Yes, justice is the interest of the stronger. Means whatever person to be participate in that particular movement. That is what called a justice according to Therasmus. So these are the words which is coming from the thinkers about one philosophical idea, that is what is justice. What about our poet? What about our poet Plato? What he says? Through Socrates, he says, rejects all these and builds his own definition. Yes, whatever you have given the definition of justice, I want to follow that one. I'm not ready to accept your definitions on justice, because there is something beyond your these definitions. What is that? Justice is when everyone performs their proper role in the society. Very nice. If someone is betraying by something from someone, you should analyze that thing. Whose wrong is there and who is right in that situation? If this person sees you as a right person, it is your duty to support him. It's your duty to show the perfect perform on that particular place. That is what called justice according to Plato. Furthermore, in the soul, without interfering the roles of the other. Yes, ಪ್ರತ್ಯಕ್ಷವಾಗಿ ಕಂಡರೂ ಪ್ರಮಾಣಿಸಿ ನೋಡು. When you come to know that who's wrong did this thing, who did wrong. If someone has not done anything wrong, though also he is struggling for proving himself, that time you need to analyze that thing. Finally, you need to stay in the back of the truth. That is what called justice according to Plato. Yes, justice is when everyone performs in that proper role. We need to show the proper role. Proper role means where you see the truth in their words, where you see the existence of reality, existence of truth in their life, in their words. It is your duty to show your performance by supporting that person. Yes, in the society and in soul, without interfering in the roles of others. If he is rich, we should support him. No, if he is rich, he might be wrong in doing something bad to the common people. By seeing his background, he belongs to the rich, means we should not stay with him. That is what wrong thing. According to Plato, he says, if he is poor but has the true thing leading in his life, means he is speaking a truth, means it's your duty to stay with him. That is what called without interfering in the roles of others. Yes, if he is rich, we should support him. No, just observe whether he is talking a right or a wrong thing. On that basis, it is your performance in a proper role. That is what called justice according to Plato. And he justifies with taking and giving so many examples. So from here, in a first book, we have seen that what it is started from the philosophical dialogue, that is what is justice. What about the second book, to second to fourth? What are the things he is going to give the example about the justice? First, to define Plato's just as a state. If there is a state, we will see so many persons are there, roles are there, king, common people, yes, wise people, everyone we can see in that state, yes. But to define just clearly, Plato builds a model city, that is Callipolis, okay, arguing that justice in the state mirrors justice in the soul. The state is ruled by king. If the king rules in a just way, truth way, honest way, the whole kingdom will be leading in a truthful way or a justice way. Getting my point? So this is what. So here he made the three classes in justice. One is class function and the second one is the sole part of a virtue. For example, if you take the example of rulers. Who are the rulers? The govern, reason, wisdom. Very nice. See, here the ruler should lead their kingship. How? With the reason and wisdom. Before giving any punishment to any common people, by seeing the common people position, he should not announce the punishment on that person. Before that, instead that he should first utilize his wisdom, see the reason behind whose wrong it is, who has done that wrong. That is what the, that is what called the real ruler of rulers. Real way of rulers. Governing of rulers is rulers. Okay, fine. What about the second point? What are the three classes in a state? The first one is rural. They govern the reason and wisdom. Through these two, they should lead. They should rule that state. What about the next? Auxiliaries means enforce spirit, courage. Means here we can see the auxiliaries means they are nothing but the defenders. Yes, they are nothing but the defenders. Wait a minute. Yes, that's only. I mean, right way. Fine. See what auxiliaries means. Here we can see the defend or enforce spirit, courage. Whoever in the place of in the state called auxiliaries, they should lead their life like a defendant or enforce spirit, courage. If something is bad, they should try to remove this badness and find out the reality with a courageously. That is what called auxiliaries. What about the producers? Revived goods and appetites, temperance, self-control. So here producers means here we can see the way we should control ourselves on the desires. This is what the power of producers. If we see these three things in an exact class, exact in a people, we can see the whole kingdom will be in a justice according to Plato. Okay, fine. Next, justice is, see, furthermore he explained in a way that justice is nothing but each class doing its own job without interfering. Very nice. Rulers govern their rule by the reason and a wisdom. Auxiliaries is nothing but defend. If something is going bad in that state, they should defend with this badness and give it in a proper justice among them. What about the producer? They should means something, I think I have missed something word. Goods, appetite, temperance means overall self-control. They should not let themselves to attract something which gives him so much, satisfied by. No, means if you go there means they forget to lead state. If show their desires on something other thing, they forget to take care of state. So it is their duty to self-control must be in their personality. So this is what called each class doing its own job without interfering to each class. That is what called according to justice in a three classes in that society according to Plato. What about the next tripartite theory of the soul? We can see the book fourth. What it tells, Plato says that human soul has divided into three parts like the state. Yes, our soul will be in a three part. First one is a reason, spirit and appetite. That is only no. Here we can see reason, spirit, appetite. We shall see the further explanation how it is. So our soul, first thing, reason is that without making any question we shouldn't accept anything in our life. If someone is saying something mean, blindly we should not accept that one. We should utilize our thinking power on that in a critical way. That is what called reason. See, thinks and try to seek the truth, then apply in your personality, then accept that in your personality. That is what called first part of soul is that reason. Who does this thing? To the rulers, means philosopher kings. Philosopher, whoever become a king, known as a philosopher king, they should have first soul, that is reasoning thing. Reason means king ಅನ್ನೋರ ಹತ್ರ ಏನಿರ್ಬೇಕ್ರಿ, ಇಂಟಲೆಕ್ಚುವಲ್ ಪವರ್, ಕ್ರಿಟಿಕಲ್ ಥಿಂಕಿಂಗ್ ಪವರ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ರೀಸನ್ ಪವರ್. ಈ ಮೂರು ಅಂಶ ಇತ್ತಂದರೆ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಇನ್ ಎ ಜಸ್ಟಿಫೈ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ಫುಲ್ ವೇ. ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಒಂದು ಸತ್ಯದ ಹಾದಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗುವಂಥದ್ದು ಸಮ್ವಾಟ್. ಓಕೆನಾ? ವಾಟ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದ ಸ್ಪಿರಿಟ್? What kind of a people coming under here? They are very courageous, pride and ambition. That is what called auxiliaries, warriors. Very nice. ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲ, ವಾರಿಯರ್ಸ್ ಯಾವ ಥರ ಇರಬೇಕ್ರಿ? They must be, they should have the, means every person, especially every person is a part of the state, means they should have, these are the quality. Reason must follow the rulers and the spirit must follow by the warriors. What kind of the warriors they must be? First, they must be very courageous one, pride one and ambitious one. Always have that conscious to do good thing, to follow the truth way. That is what justice. And the third one is appetite. Appetite means desires for a food, sex, money, producers, farmers, artisans. See, if we follow these things, food, sex, money means state will face a kind of a trouble. The people will, there is no one to take care of that land, take care of that people. So being, so if we have, means every people have their own soul. The soul should be reason and spirit. Both things they should follow. The third thing they should not follow. If we give that importance to the third soul, means like this one, we will spoil our life and also will spoil the justice in that society, in that state also. This is what called the tripartite theory of soul. The first one is reason, spirit and appetite. Hope so you have understood. Such part of explanation we can see questions coming from this way in a competitive exam. Fine. So here a just, a truth, a justice person is one whose soul is balanced. We should always keep our soul in a balance. If I chase towards get to the property, to the power, means my soul will be spoiled and the people of the state lead their life in a wrong way, in a wrong path. So better to, we should control, we should balance our soul. And reason rule means if we rules in our life without making any question, we should not accept in our life. That is reason. And a spirit supports, appetite obeys. Very nice. When we keep our soul balanced, automatically we rule the kingdom in a reason way, critical way, and our spirit, the goodness will support us, and definitely appetite, keeping more desires will be rejected from our soul, will be obeys to in front of us, obeys to our soul. Getting my point? ನಮ್ಮ ಸೋಲ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ನಾವು ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ದಲ್ಲಿರ್ತೀವಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಕ್ರಿಟಿಕಲ್ ಥಾಟ್ಗಳ ಐಡಿಯಾಸ್ಗಳು ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಡು ಬರ್ತದೆ. ವಿ ವೋಂಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್ ವಿತೌಟ್ ಮೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಅ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ವೆನ್ ವಿ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಅವರ್ ಸೋಲ್. ಎಸ್, ಅದರಿಂದ ಸ್ಪಿರಿಟ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಒಂದು ಗುಡ್ನೆಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತದ್ರಿ, ಇವನ್ ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. ಎಪಿಟೈಟ್ ಕೀಪಿಂಗ್ ಸೋ ಮಚ್ ಡಿಸೈರ್ನೆಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್, ಅದು ಏನಾಗ್ತದ್ರಿ, ಒಬೆ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಎಸ್, ಇಟ್ ಬೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಫ್ರಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಅವರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲಿಂಗ್ ಅವರ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್, ಸೋಲ್ ಈಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಅವರ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. What about the next? The philosopher king. This is also, we can see the book 5th and 5, 6, 7. Plato's radical idea is that until philosophers rule as a king, cities will have no rest from evils. Very nice. The king should rule like a truth, justice, yes, equality to everyone. We won't see any kind of evilness has spread all over the state. Getting my point? So it is based on the king. The king himself called as a philosopher king means the philosopher king should have that reason qualities. Yes, a kind of a critical qualities. Cities will have no rest from evil. Until philosopher rule as a kings, cities will have no rest from evils. So why philosopher? They seek the truth, not power. What kind of philosopher they want in the state means they should have the kind of a curious thing about truth. Their power should lead in a truth way, justice way. Hadala, like Bahubali. He is ready to sacrifice himself for the sake of truth, for the sake of whatever religion, for the sake of what his mother taught to him. Getting my point? So here the rulers means cities will have no rest from evils. If a king has a lead his life in a truth way, justice way, means we won't see any kind of a evil. If he leads in a means he gives so much desire on a power, means we can see so much evilness in our state. Yes, just like example of utopia, the best example now, utopia. Whatever the ruler, the king, how the king is there, if the king is have the goodness, the people of that land will be lead their life in a happily. If he has a bad kind of a nature, only thinking about the power, honor, the people of that land will be spoiled. There is no one to take care of their life. The whole world, the whole state will turn into us facing so many tortures, so many power problems. We can see such kind of a in that land. So that's why he said king. Philosopher means, why philosopher? Because they seek truth, not a power. They should concentrate on their life should be represented as a seeking the truth, not the chasing the power. They understand the forms. That's where here the main topics comes about the republic. Objection of poetry, no? Objection of poetry. The first point. What is that? They understand the forms, especially form of the God. Form means the reality. Reality of this world. Not a shadow of this world. Yes? For example, beauty, truth, BEA. Truth, justice, life, moral values. These are what called the form of good. Shadow, not beauty. Fine. Here they understand the forms, that is stays in reality. Being a king, being a philosopher king, he should know the what is reality. Yes, especially form of the goodness. What is reality? What is truth? What is beauty? What is knowledge? What is life? Once he know the true reality of this thing, he can lead the state in a very controlled way. They won't find any kind of a evilness in that state. But the fellow called king philosopher won't know about the forms. The reality means the whole state turn into evilness. This is what the words of Plato. What he says, they are wise, disciplined, and just. How the philosopher should be? They should be very wise, without taking anything, accepting anything, making any question. For every word, for everything, they should chase the truth behind this thing, reality behind this thing. That is what called nature of wise person. That should see in a philosopher's king. And discipline, yes, discipline must be there. Should give the punishment in a proper way. The punishment should give to the wrong person, not an innocent person. And just means truth. So these are the what the qualities of, these are the what the things which being a king philosopher should follow in his personality. Getting my point? Next. So here, philosopher king is nothing but a ruler with the knowledge of central truth, eternal truth. Very nice. So here we can see the ruler. Who is ruler? With what kind of a ruler should have the things? He should have the knowledge of eternal truth. Eternal truth never dies. Am I right? It stays eternal one. Like soul, like beauty, like truth. This is what Plato give the words about the justice should be seen in the character called the king philosopher. It is a philosopher king. If a king called himself a philosopher, means he should have the knowledge about eternal truth, not just opinion. He should not chase to the opinions of common people. Like, for example, if there is a person can see the shadow, so his existence of that person is not a reality. Whatever you have see the shadows of any object, that is not coming under eternal truth. That is only not reality. The reality is we should not see any shadow which is beyond our acceptation, beyond our reality, is called eternal truth. They should have the concept of philosopher king, being a king. Okay, fine. Let's see. Then what are the forms and the form of the good? See here, first thing is we can divide it in the two kind of a realities, the world of the forms and the form of the good. Let's see. Here we can see the first thing is that physical world. That would be the changing and imperfect way. Form of the world is that unchanging. That is perfect. Tree is a unchanging. Truth, beauty, nature or soul, especially soul, called as a unchanging in a perfect way. Whatever the changing, by taking the tree, we can make it as a chair, table. That is what called imperfect or a changing thing. This is what called material world, physical world. Yes, and known by the senses. If I observe the nature, I can observe this nature by my senses. I can touch, I can feel it, I can smell it. Whatever you can touch, smell it, feel it, smell it especially. That is what called known by the senses. That is physical world. Known by the reason. Kind of abstract thing. There you cannot see. You cannot see the particular thing. Like truth. Can you see? Knowledge, honesty, beauty. Yes, can you see that one? No, that is what called the world of forms is nothing but known by the reason. It is critical thinking way. It is a deeply knowing the chasing the behind that reality is called known by a reason. What about shadow? Every object has a shadow. That is not called reality. That is not called truth. But true reality is not exist shadow according to Plato. Getting my point? That is what called, we can see the world of forms. In my next class, theory of forms will see. It is talking about these are the things only. Whatever the things you have seen in the society, in the nature, that should not be changed, and also it should be in a perfect manner, like love, nature, truth, soul, a beauty. These are the things which is called the unchanging one, the reality one, beyond the metaphysics, beyond finding the beyond our thought, which is not easily to reach. If I ask you what is life means, life it is a beautiful someone, everyone gives their own opinion, but when you try to seek the perfect answer for that, you come to know that it is a form of a world form, means it easily can't exist. Life is, it is reality, somewhat. Okay, everything in this world is a copy of a perfect form. Very nice. Justice, beauty, and change. Very nice. Everything in this world is a copy of a perfect form. If I take a tree, we can see the copy of the tree is a chair. So this is imperfect. This is perfect. The beauty, I can only feel it. But when it turns into form of poetry, form of a picture, form of a painting, this is secondary sources, means imperfect things or copy things taking from the what called the form of good. Getting my point? So this is about what called, he says, everything in this world, whatever you have observed in this world, that is what the copy of a perfect form. Whether it is a chair, the painting, poems, poetry, drama, everything, it is a copy of the perfect form. Just like a example, justice, beauty, and a chair. Fine. So form of the good is the highest of all the forms, like the sun that gives the light. That is knowledge. And life is nothing but truth. What is life? Life is a truth. The truth is that one day we must die. That is truth. We born in this world, whatever we do till to our death, that may go to the reality or going in a ignorance, that is let on you. If you chase, if your life should be in a reason way, you will be coming under the philosopher's king. Your life may be going under in ignorance way, appetite, following the desires, denying the, you are far away from the truth, far away from the reality, according to Plato. Hope so you got it. So here, form of the good is nothing, highest form of highest of all forms, like sun that gives the light. The sun is eternal. What the light it gives is called knowledge. Knowledge cannot be gives any shadow. It always takes you to the truth path. Am I right? And what is life? Life is nothing but a truth. Without it, we remain in a darkness. Very nice. If we know, if we don't search about the what is knowledge, what is about truth, we are living in the world called darkness, that is ignorance, ajnana. Getting my point? So this is what about the form, the world of a forms and the form of a world. World of a form as a imperfect one, whereas form of the good is a perfect one. Hope so you got it. Fine. Let's begin to the next concept. Am I right? Is it about the Plato's Republic? Okay now. Next, let's take about the allegory of a cave. Allegory, a story of a cave. See, if I keep a boy, baby boy, without having any existence of himself, just like a kid, put into cave, without giving the knowledge of world, nature, anything, sun, stars, moon, everything. We keep this boy in this cave. What happens in that cave? He think himself that this is the real world. The cave is the real world. There is no any, whatever he has seen the things, that is reality to him. Getting my point? Like some people are chained inside in a dark. Example, for the experiment point, or for knowing about the reality. What is reality? What is ignorance? What is truth? Reality is nothing but truth. They can only see the shadow on the wall and thinking that's the real world. Getting my point? Huh? Keeping in the living in that cave, when the fire is burning here, we can see the shadow coming out from their body on the wall. Yes, usually we have seen our shadow when the lights is gone, when we put the lamp in our home, we see our shadows. We think that this is the real world. This is the real world. But when one person escapes, sees the real world outside and learns the truth, when one of a person is coming out of from that cave, he observed the real world, the sun's light, the nature, the moon, everything. He got so much surprised by seeing the world, the truth world, the reality world, and came to know that the real world is in the world. The reality is in the world, not in the cave. Getting my point? Not in the cave where we have observed our shadow as real. No, our shadow is not real. Once we died means our shadow will die with us. What about the soul? It will be stay. It will be stay as a eternal part. That is reality. So he came to know that truth, and when he go back to meet his companion, he turns to tell the others, but they don't believe him and laugh at him. No, 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 no. You are telling lies. Our cave is our world. There is no any truth beyond this cave. This is what the words coming from the ignorant peoples. Okay, na? Ignorance, the person who is leading in a ignorance life means ಅಜ್ಞಾನದಿಂದ ಯಾರು ಲೈಫ್ ಲೀಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರು ಎಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, and they never try to accept his word also. The person who escapes from that cave, he tries to make him understand so much. He efforts lots to make them understand, but those fellows is not at all ready to accept his word. So this is how the people are living in a darkness. People are living in a ignorant way. So this is how he put this kind of a concept in this book, that is republic. So this is what they are very away from the truth, away from the justice. Yes. So most people live in an illusion. How they live their life? Illusion. Once I will crack this case at net exam. Arey, you haven't not prepared for that exam. Simply you are creating imagination. You are living in your life in a illusion way. Yes, I can crack this case at exam, net exam, and once I will become a assistant professor. But you don't know how the way I should reach there. The way is that you need to work hard. You need to read day by day. You need to learn new concept every day. Once you cross that one, then you will be able to yourself to crack that exam. This is what the reality. Instead that, what you are doing? You are living in a life in a illusion way. Yes, I can crack this exam. No, there must be effort. There must be seeking the knowledge to know about the truth. That is what this fellow is trying, but the fellows are not at all helping them, not at all accepting his word. More than instead that accepting the thing, more than they show themselves laughing at him. So most people live in that illusion, believing that only what they see or hear, whatever we have seen, whatever we are here, that is true. No, there is beyond the things. There the things lie beyond the things. That is our duty to find out that one. That is what called the true person's nature. To seek the knowledge is called the real king ruler, king philosopher. Fine. True knowledge comes from thinking deeply. Just I told you now, whatever coming in front of you, it's your duty to think in a very deeply, whether it is right or wrong, whether it is true or a false, whether it is real or a fake. This is what your way of thinking deeply. If you did this, you are in a right path. If you not, you are in leading your life in a illusion world called illusion. Discovering the truth through the reasons, what is right, what is wrong, yes, and just like escape the prisoner, how this fellow escaped from the cave and find out the real truth beyond this cave is called reality. If you go like this, you will coming out from that prisoner. If you stay like that, means you are a kind of, you are living in the life called illusion. What is the motto of this concept? Means we people are living in the world. If we chase, if we have that power called think deeply, we are in a right path. According to Plato, we are considered one of the, what is that, discovering truth and become a true knowledge person. We will become as one of a true knowledge person. What we see in this world, everyone think, everywhere leading in their life is a very illusion way. If we got as, if in this world we are born means we must die, but most of the people, they won't think about this. Instead, that what they do, they try to collect money lot. They make the money lot and collect the property, and and build so many buildings. They forget to once they must die. This is what, yes, living in this way is called an illusion. Knowing this thing, once we should die, he will do many more good things to the common people and lead is in a life in a very truth way, in a truth way, justice way. Getting my point? This is what the words of Plato. Nice. Next, a powerful metaphor. What? Prisoner lives in a cave, only seeing shadow on a wall is a illusion. Yes, once he caught the discovery of a shadow which is coming from the body, means when the fire is going on behind him, means automatically we can see the shadow on the wall. It is nothing but the illusion, and one escape sees the real things in the sunlight is called truth. Yes, living in a life in a darkness is a illusion. Come out from that darkness, live your life in a truth, in a under sunlight. That is what truth. This thing he know. When he returns to tell the others, they reject and mock him. Those people are called a foolish people. Yes, fine. So meaning cave is nothing but the world of senses and ignorance, whereas the escape means the philosopher, yes, try to find out the truth, try to get the knowledge. That is philosophers. And the last, the sun is nothing but the truth. Yes, the brightness, the lights. See, when you start to read about a biography of Plato, outerly you thought, yes, it is about the biography. When you read deeply about him, there we see so many things. This is what called the truth, seeking for the knowledge. Yes, this is what the light of a sun we can see in the Plato's biography, then to the works, then to the concept, then to the particular topic, objections of poetry, how he has done in his book called the Republic. Okay, fine. Written, the philosopher's duty to educate others, and even if rejected, if someone is not accepting, for example, I'm trying to make so many videos regarding in English literature. The person who is curious to learn, he observe my video, try to make some notes also. The person sometimes he reject, let it. If the exams can't ask 10 mark question, means by watching 10 or 15 minutes video is enough for us to crack the exam, means no, highly impossible. You see, for MA in English, it is it is enough for getting 55% for eligible for apply for the KSET net exam. You need to prepare yourself to crack this kind of exam, not for MA exam. It is very easy to pass in that exam. 5 question will be there. Each question can be, you it is very easy to you prepare one question for 10 marks or 15 marks with studying particularly a lengthy one answer. No, not like that. You need to go very deeply. What word tells what kind of a meaning, which word we can see utilization of in a which concept. Yes, so this is what the way preparation of yourself. Okay, fine. See here what it tells: philosophers duty to educate others. Yes, what I'm doing right now. Yes, okay, it means I'm a philosopher. Okay, fine. And even if rejected, if someone is not at all ready to accept that one, means it's your duty. Try to give so much, try to give the education to that person. When he realizes himself, he will definitely coming back to you. This is what the about return. Fine. The last, no, it still fine. What is that? 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 and ninth. What it tells the book: types of government and decline of the ideal state. Very nice, very nice. The title itself says, if the politician rules in a very just way without caring of power, caring instead he cares lot to the people, he would be considered as a good king, the good ruler. What happens? His children do the things, they forget to lead their ruling power like their father. What they chase? They chase about honor and power. This is how we can see the decline of ideal state. Let's begin one by one. Plato shows how government decline away from the ideal aristocracy. Ideal aristocracy is first one, aristocracy. What? Ruled by vice. Yes. Huh. Aristocracy means rule by wise. First, in the beginning, they rule in a very wise, just, truth way they rule. What happens? From their children, they start to care about their honor. Yes, then wisdom. This is the one thing where we can see decline of ideal state. What about the democracy? Democracy means here also rule by the warriors. Democracy means it is a kind of a military honor and a strength. Democracy means military honor and strength, which leads, which made him most valued. Ruled by the warriors, honor based. What happens in this way? They chase for get the more money. Yes, want to become over honor. Getting my point? Beginning, democracy means they are nothing but the wise and the wisest and the strongest warriors, ruled by the warriors. But at the how the days are going on, they turn to change their personality. They start to make the money over honor. This is how we can see the spoilness of ideal state, declination of ideal state. What about the oligarchy? Oligarchy. Yes. Oligarchy means ruled by the people. Yes. Ruled by the wealthy people, where oligarch means rich, ruled by the rich. If this state ruled by the rich means people, poor people will remain poor only. If a wise people rule this city in a wise way means their children will be rule this world with, what is that exact? Sorry. their children will rule by honor. Their father, aristocracy, in the beginning they shows the wisdom. They give the more importance to wisdom, but their children give the more importance to the honor than wisdom. What about the democracy? They rule by the warriors, yes, and after some days they turn into collect the so many amount, collecting the money. This is how affect to the decline of rule. What about the oligarchy? Rule by the rich. If the people rule by the rich means the poor people will remain like a poor itself. And what about the democracy? What about the democracy? It we rule by the masses, freedom without order. So here we can see democracy means rule by the masses. Everyone can lead here, rule here, but poor people won't get rightness. Getting my point? And what about the tyranny? We rule by the one, fear, control, appetite, gone wild. If one person rule this state, what we can say? The condition of in that state, the people will fear Lord. There is no can see the control over that common people. Every people have follow the greedy things. This is how these are the things like called aristocracy, democracy, oligarchy, and democracy and tyranny. How these are the things is take into the decline of society, decline of state. Getting my point? Hope so. You have got it. Next. Each stage reflects the corruption of the soul when appetite takes over the reason. Very nice. Each state, tyranny, democracy, oligarchy, democracy, and aristocracy. If we select such person, such category kind of a, persons, they are going to spoil the society. If we analyze their way of leading life means they are going to spoil. How? By giving so many examples, few examples. So here each state reflect that corruption of the soul. Everyone is very busy to corrupt the society, corrupt the soul. If they chase to the appetite one, showing so much greediness towards money, sex, honor, as property, wealth. If these kind of a classes, yes, stages follow these means we can see definitely the collapse of decline of a ideal state. Instead that if they go with the reason means we can see again the improvement or a perfect ideal kind of a state we can see. But according to Plato, what he says, these are the stage where we can see the declination of a state in his work called the Republic. Next, what about the last one? Yes, critique of art and poetry. The last one is critique of art and the poetry. Plato's controversial view, critique of art and poetry, poets, and the way they created the poetry. He made the criticism how art is a mimesis. Art is nothing but it is an imitation, twice removed from the earth. Truth is tree, turn into chair, and by chair itself take into the form of painting or poetry writing. So this is how it is twice removed from the truth that is created by the poets. It should be banned according to Plato. Let's see. So why he criticized poetry means it copies appearance, not reality. Whatever the poets are going to present or created the poems, that is twice removed from the truth. So there we won't find any kind of a truth or a reality in that poetry. So it stirs the emotions and weakens the reason. See, means they gave the much importance to the emotions. Emotion spoils the human life. According to Plato, emotions makes human very weak. Instead that they make the sorry, here we can see the emotion weakens the reason. Yes, for example, see, if a girl cries means boy never cries. He tried to find out the he tried to find out the reason behind her crying. Instead that he is not crying with him, with her. Getting my point? So this is how. So emotion makes to weakness to the reason. If she is crying means he is also starting to crying. There is no any chance to think in a critical way. That is what is doing the work. That is poem or poetry. So that's why he hates poetry, he hates poets. And it often shadows gods and heroes behaving badly. What it gives, what it teaches, poetry, what it teaches, shows the gods and heroes behaving badly. And also it misguides the truth. So here we can see the gods and heroes behaving badly. That poetry express such kind of a things in a bad way, but which misguides the youth. So highly he reject the formation of poetry. Only art that supports the truth, reason should be allowed in the just and state. So he says art, that is truth, that supports the truth, and reason should be allowed in the jest. Whatever you can see the thing, there must be truth, not a fake thing can be seen in a poetry. How many times it has taken? Okay, fine. Last thing, what about the conclusion? Okay, of the republic, justice is harmony within the soul and society, yes, and the just life is a happier than the unjust life. ಜಸ್ಟಿಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಒಂದು ಹಾರ್ಮನಿ ಇದೆ, ಒಂದು ಪೀಸ್ಫುಲ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಕೊಡ್ತದೆ ಯಾರಿಗೆ, ಆ ಸೋಲಿಗೆ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಸೊಸೈಟಿಗೆ. ವೇರ್ ವಿ ಸಿ ದ ಜಸ್ಟಿಸ್, ಅದೇನಾದರೂ ಕಂಡು ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಎವಿಲ್ನೆಸ್ ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಡ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಡ್ತದೆ. ವೇರ್ ಆಸ್ ದ ಜಸ್ಟಿಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ದ ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ, ದ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಹೂ ಲೀವ್ಸ್ ಹೀಸ್ ಲೈಫ್, ದ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಹೂ ಈಸ್ ಟ್ರೂ ಟು ಹಿಮ್ಸೆಲ್ಫ್, his life will be very happier. The person who is not true to in his life means he is not in a happier life. He is not spending his life in a happy way, happy way. Okay, the soul is immortal and the must strive towards the truth and goodness. Yes, this is immortal. Yes, mortal means it dies, immortal means won't die. That is what soul. So we should chase the truth and goodness. And ends with the myth of air. Again I missed the word, sorry. Story about the reincarnation and reward punishment of the souls after the death. So a final motivation to be just. So what is in that myth means should lead your life in a just way, not a fake way. So importance of this republic is that first complete the political philosophy in the west and the discussion about the ideas, society, education, justice, government and the truth, as you have seen about the things. And they introduce the key concept like philosopher king, forms, tripartite soul, censorship and cave allegory. Next, influenced thinkers like Aristotle, Saint Augustine, Aquinas, Machiavelli, Rousseau, Karl Marx and modern democracy. So the Plato's thought influenced on these are the thinkers. So let's begin a short view on that. In a book presents the what is sex, sorry, what is justice, and the book second and a fourth, that is ideal city, tripartite soul and education. What is book fifth, philosopher's king, role of women. What is six, book 6, that is nature of philosophers, and book 7 is allegory of the cave, and book 8 and 9th is types of government and the souls, and the book 10th is critic of poetry, immortality of the soul. If my last words on the republic, if the state becomes an ideal society means the ruler should live their life in a just way, not an appetite way. Appetite means greedy for women like sex, greedy for wealth, greedy for power, greedy for honor. If we see these are the things in a ruler, the state will be declined. So we should avoid these are the things, because these are the not reality. The reality is that spending your life in a justice way. That is what the words of Plato. Okay, fine. This is about what the Plato's Republic. Hope so you have understood this class, and thank you for this class. Shall coming up with another video. Until, take care. Bye bye.